Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here with us and for participating to this new masterclass of the ETERIA project. I will introduce a little bit our speakers and the new masterclass that is part of the International Artistic Residence that there will be next month in Zakynthos. E.T.E.R.I.A, Enhanced Transborder Experiences, Rebuild Interactions of Artists, is an international project coordinated by the Italian Center of International Theatre Institute that we represent, in partnership with Theatro Tsi Zakynthos from Greece, the Constanza National History and Archaeology Museum from Romania, the North Macedonian Center of International Theatre Institute that will coordinate the masterclass today, and the Augmented and Virtual Reality Lab of the Department of Engineering for Innovation of the University of Salento from Italy. E.T.E.R.I.A, the project, is supported by the Creative Europe program of the European Union, the strand culture of the cooperation projects. E.T.E.R.I.A aims to create innovating models in the field of social and community theatre and conflict transformation through the performing arts, based on audience engagement and intercultural artistic practices. The next international residence is titled Conflict and Memories, and there will be we'll start with the in presence activities next Friday, 27 October, with the activity with the school, with the young students. And we will be there the 4th of November, and many other activities we will start. Firstly, with the preparation of the international production that is coordinated by International Theatre Institute Italy, and direct by Fabio Tolletti. I introduce the masterclass of Ivanka Apostolova Baskar that is titled Video Techniques for Performing Arts. So please, Ivanka, I give you the flow to start the masterclass. Thank you again for participating with your work, with your lessons, and thank you to all the participants to be here today. Ivanka, the microphone, turn on the microphone.
Thank you. Thank you for this wonderful collaboration. Thank you for the wonderful announcement, dear Pierre. And I send regards to all my colleagues from ETERIA project. I will start now my presentation with, just a moment. Can you see it, please? Can you see the...
Yes, we see, but okay.
Is it better now, slide screen, or no?
It's okay like this.
All right. So actually, I'm going to start with one short genesis, how I and my team, we start creating video theater projects and under what conditions. So this is the camera we are using. It's a practically old timer. It's a Sony semi-professional, and it's used for museums documentation. The type is Sony DC-CH300, and it's a low-tech video camera. Of course, it is connected with our low-budget projects, and it's from the perspective of our new collaborators, very outdated technique. But it is always affordable to us, and because I am very much interested now in this phase of creation on maximum aesthetics, maximum narration, and dedicated creativity of or creation of work of art by using low tech. And what what is the maximum effect you can take off from the low-tech tools. We are still focused on this kind of camera, and afterwards the recorded materials are processed and edited in Adobe Premiere CC3 for montage, for editing, which is also outdated program. So I like to introduce my, for now, permanent collaborators, very valuable photographer Vesna Briškovska and my partner in camera and editing, Ivanka Apostolova. And everything starts with, while I was living and working in Slovenia, in several Slovenian theaters. So for the first time, I start to work and to create theater video on one very interesting particular project, Love to Death, directed in 2007 in Mladinsko Theater in Ljubljana. It is concert for cook, for 6 assistants and 3 dishwashers, directed by Matjaž Pograjc, who is permanently employed director in Slovensko Mladinsko Ljubljana. And together with 3 wonderful video artists, I create 3 videos of all sets to be used as a set design during this project. This project practically is based on avant-garde poets from the late 19th and early 20th centuries, like Paul Verlaine, like Arthur Rimbaud, like Georges Bataille, Charles Baudelaire, Arthur Rimbaud, Oscar Wilde, Gottfried Benn. Actually, some of them are also from pioneers of avant-garde from the period of postmodern. Edgar Allan Poe, George Heim, etc., etc., etc. And it was we supposed to work on Fassbinder's chansonniers, but we haven't received the author's rights, and we just immediately switch into the avant-garde, the field of avant-garde poetry, and it becomes an idea for alternative restaurant when actors are cooks and showmen in same time, showwomen in same time. So this is the poster. And these are fragments, photo fragments of the 3 videos I made. For the first video, my colleague helped me with using the After Effects program because I have never worked before in After Effects program. So we shoot Janja Meisel, actress, mouth. She was doing various activities with her lips in order to transform these footages into composition the way I see. So focus on lips. Focus, the second one is prepared directly in Premiere by using a lot of complex layers in order to create this collage from using my own personal hand, actually a photo from my hand, and to create this abstract monster. And the third is I was using low-tech drawings by using ink, black ink, and create sort of abstract demons, and then I created various collages by using the multi-layered editing process directly in Premiere. This is one photography from Marusha, one of the actresses from the performances, how she sings and how some of the videos look.
Sorry, Ivanka, sorry if I stop you, but maybe there is not the changing of the slides.
Really?
Because we are still at the first slide.
Can you?
Now you are changed. Now you are changed.
Okay, so this is a photography from Adobe Premiere CC3 for editing, for montage. Vesna, my collaborator in photography, and Mihailo, my collaborator in camera and editing. And then this is the poster from Love to Death, Ljubezen na smrt, the theater performance I was for the first time when I was using and creating theater video for the purposes of this performance. These are fragments, photo fragments from the 3 videos I create. And photography from the very performance, how it looks as an ambient on the location. Well, the next project happened after so many years, when I moved back to Macedonia in National Theatre Anton Panov Strumica, again in collaboration with Slovenian visiting director Niko Goršić, a famous actor and director who usually creates monodramas, duodramas, and chamber theater performances. And we were together collaborate. He invited me to create visual dramaturgy and also to collaborate with a team of technicians who were creating video mapping. And I'm going to tell you how and why. So the text is the fifth act, written by Ljubomir Đurković, very famous ex-Yugoslavian, originally born in Montenegro, a playwright who moved to work and live in Slovenia. Unfortunately, a few years ago, he died. Very proliferant, very talented, very inspiring playwright. So the story is connected with two best friends, also best colleagues, actors who are retired. And on the very day for celebration, they just tell all the brutal truth and hypocrisy who was, how can I say, connected with their long time friendship. So we just use bare stage, very elegant costumes, and very minimalistic use of theater reflectors for light and light design ambience. And on one occasion, we were just using video mapping by selected frames from several partisan films made during 80s in Macedonia when we were part of Yugoslavian country. The projections was only on their body as a symbolic evocation of their experience fighting as partisans against the German occupation during the Second World War. So you can see some photo fragments of this performance. The very next year, I created a model for a video theater project, our first video theater project, who was actually video drama reading. And we staged 11 short plays under title Poor Little Rich Drama, who are artistic products as follow-up on the dramatic workshop held by mentor Ulrike Zucha from Germany. And I decided some fragments of this short plays to be staged as a video drama reading, video theater performance. So we choose the location of Kratovo, which is one very beautiful, very old, from the 13th century city in eastern part of Macedonia. And here I created the method, so-called method theater tourism, who is actually for cast and crew. This time I invited Teja Begovska to work, to stage, to direct the video reading with two actors, Tome Stankovski and Emilia Micevska. So here you can see the poster of this project with all the playwrights who are part of this texts, like Vasil Mihail, like Ilana Prenjova, Eva Kamčevska, Igor Poptraikov, Nadica Trajkova, and many others. And I deliberately choose some photos when you can see how simple and how minimalistic we are as a team while we are shooting, recording the process. So in this situation, we choose 11 different locations, and we were just going from one to the very next location, and the actors were performing. Before we go on location, we usually have online very intense rehearsals. And if you ask us how actors are accepting these online rehearsals, being in their homes in front of camera, I know and I understand it's a little bit frustrating because most of them are stage actors, actresses, and they need black box and that flat freedom for expressing them. But in these low budget circumstances, of course, every talented theater practitioner is adaptable, is flexible, and the process goes with a wonderful flow without problems. So these are some of the location, 2 partisan monuments when we stage one teenage short play, because most of the heroes are partly are very young men who lost their life during the war. And this was our, from the perspective of visual dramaturgy, context and connection. The next, you can see the arrow. The next photography is connected with the scene of 2006. In 2006, a modern amphitheater for outdoor performances were built outside Kratovo. Unfortunately, now is used for local alcoholics and drug users. And of course, this was our context with, how can I say, illusion of being loved and how people have problems with falling in love and loving forever and ever, toward the context of the story by Elena Prenjava. The next story is shooted in the very center of old merchant area in Kratov, who is hardly dead, Ajdučka Čaršija. And we just allow the passengers to enter and to go out from the very spontaneously, like a cinema verite, during the recording, during the performing of the actors. You can see some other photo here. The very next situation is recorded inside City Museum in Kratovo, and we choose the small room with a permanent collection and exhibition of ethnological collections. And we stage the very next performance, talking about, how can I say, the illusions of war and the yearnings and for escapism in some idyllic, rural, calm surroundings. Of course, I'm not talking about all the episodes, but here you can see some photography when we were choosing, we were recording the very next episode on the one of the oldest bridges in Kratovo, again using the spontaneous entrance of the local citizens, local civils. And on my right side, you can see photography from the episode who is recorded inside old Ottoman prison, a wonderful location, and the connection is with never-ending complications and corruption inside our local administrative institutions, even when you like to send a a letter international. So the very next project is again made of 6 episodes based on short plays created by domestic playwrights. And also we create 6 video drama pitchings in order to promote additionally their creativity as playwrights, because nobody in my country wants to stage contemporary playwrights. Here it's an incident, and then nobody staged them again. So good thing is in this contemporary time, the positive use of internet. So young people are finding a lot of festival opportunities, international festival opportunities, a lot of international scholarships to study abroad, to participate abroad, and to build their careers abroad, which is far away better than the past times when we couldn't use internet. So dispersive dramatics in Skopje in 2020, or theater in the creative industries, and again, collaboration with Thea Begovska. So we stage plays by Sasha Dimovsky, Lidia Mitovska, Mia Efremova, Mia Nikolovska, Nadica Trajkova, and for now, the only one play written by me, an interview with Petra von Kant. The actor was Leon Ristov, who is mostly known as a theater director. Sometimes he acts in films, not in theaters. Very photogenic person. So I start with these raw photo materials, who I like them very much, following the process of rehearsal on internet via Zoom or Skype. And an apology by Nadica Trajkova was staged in one local park, Pista Park in suburbia of Skopje, where once was a military airport. So as a monument, one old military plane is used as a sculpture. So we use that as a background symbolically and associatively to follow the story, how two young lovers are separated without having chances to express their mutual love and emotions. So you can see the photos, how it looks like, how minimalistic and spontaneous it is, the way we approach into creating video theater projects. The second episode is about, it's based on Inquisition, written by very talented playwright Mia Nikoloska, who now is going to have a specialization in playwriting in France. We stage it in a public playground, again in a suburbia, and she is very talented in inventing neologism, inventing combinatory terms, very talented in building situations, dramatic tensions, and I predict a very good, successful professional future in international context for her. One good thing is that all young playwriters are very brilliant and active in using English language. So for us, it's more easy to publish their plays in English language and to distribute it internationally via professional mailing list or social media, in compare with our good older playwrights who are not recognizable, not even at home, not to mention internationally, because they didn't use English language. They use French or Russian, or only speak Macedonian or Serbian. The next episode, Petra von Kant, interview with Petra von Kant, we used one very new composed but very retro, who looks like designs in fountains in the 70s, in 20th century, to put this decadent interview with this decadent fictional character from Fassbinder film. So you can see some more photos. The next episode is shooted or recorded in Michurin, so-called Aegean Macedonian part of Skopje. And we recorded on today not existing old houses when Aegean refugees were accommodated and inhabited after the Second World War. And now how can I say, if you go to visit that part of Skopje, is full with newly composed buildings, and this doesn't exist anymore. So the story is connected with a brain drain, with gastarbeiters, the tradition of gastarbeiting abroad, which is a very strong part of our domestic history. So these buildings, who are not existing anymore, they existed just 2 years ago, but now everything is erased, are built in 1949, more or less the period of Infobiro, a very espionage period in our country, and not only in our country, in all Yugoslavia, when people supposed to choose between pro-Stalinistic regime or Tito's system. The next performance in stage, who is written by also very talented playwright, it's from younger generation, Mia Efremova. Today we are traveling together in Kosovo Theater Showcase. Tomorrow she will present her new play, Big Deal, who was also staged in the frames of producer program in collaboration with ITI Center in Japan, our colleagues and partners. And Demigods was staged in the backyard of a museum dedicated to the first and oldest impressionist in Macedonia, Lazar Licenovsky. And it's a very beautiful small museum with very beautiful mosaic, with sculpture made by a very famous contemporary conceptual sculpture sculpturist Petar Hadžiboškov. So we were staged this performance in the pool for golden fish, who are not existing, but you can see parts of wonderful mosaic, and the ambience is very beautiful, and because she talks, she stages her story, her narration in the museum. This is our context in creating this this episode of our video theater project. Sorry, I'm talking mostly about the connection between location, low-tech technology, and my purpose and vision in creating video theater projects, and how we can rediscover locations who are very interesting for site-specific theater, for other alternative outdoor forms of expressing theater performance, particularly in condition when black box classical theater houses are hardly affordable because of many reasons. I hope so some things will start changing, but we will see. So the last episode, who is sort of written by Sasha Dimovsky, Between the Dragon and His Rat, he wrote about genesis of court jesters, and the only person who were allowed to say the truth to the king, to the emperor, without using self-censorships. So we put it in this graffiti part of Skopje, near the government building of Skopje. And that was our context to tell this story about the freedom of expression given by the jesters in this video theater context. So you can see some other photo documentation of this part. The very next project is recorded also in 2020. Destination Skopje Gabrovo, in collaboration with Spam Studio and Anna Batava, who made the script adaptation. The inspiration is connected with 2 episodes from a very famous book by Yerofeev, written by Yerofeev, Moscow Petushki, and we choose 2 episodes, The Star of Bethlehem and Life is Beautiful. And the first episode was staged by Tea Begovska, the second episode was staged by me. For the so it is made in 2 episodes. The actor who collaborated with us was Kirill Donchov, who is actually a scriptwriter and very talented non-professional actor. So the first star, The Star of Bethlehem, directed by Tea Begovska, is staged in Skopje Zoo. We were very discreet in recording this episode without harm and disturbing any animals. But the connection is this process of self and this eloquence, wonderful eloquence and bizarre logorea of this extremely intelligent, lucid character, who is also self-destructive by drinking nonstop self-made alcohol, brutal, cruel alcohol, who is destroying his life and body and mind and spirit. We find connection with wild animals and their very nature in the zoo. That was our analogy. And the contradiction between the fragility of one self-destructive but extremely talented person toward the lyricness and the wonderful nature of certain animals. And the seal is here, and you can see the way he demonstrates this alcoholic person. You can see the links here. I hope so. Yes, the links, Macedonian links, unfortunately imprisoned in the zoo, as another analogy of this very interesting character. Here are some fragments of our rehearsal. We're also very successful in, how can I say, in creating the way he creates this character, like Kirill Donchov. The second episode, Life is Beautiful, was recorded in Skopskopole. It is location who is sort of a garbage for non-used trains. And it is like a museum under the open air with wonderful, wonderful design of old trains passenger trains or transportation trains with wonderful design, who are witnessing, how can I say, the design from the period of SHS, when we were Vardar colony of Serbia, Yugoslavian period time, the first decade of independence of Macedonia. And now we don't have trains, we don't have active railway connections except one train per day. They announced it a few days ago between Skopje, Veles, and Bitola, and that's all, which is consequences of heavy corruptions in our country. So you can see some photos from the location and the way we use empty, abandoned railways, empty, abandoned wagons, in order to express his state of mind. And we are, of course, using this method of theater tourism, who actually is additional inspiration for cast and crew, because except me, nobody else, even co-director Tea Begovsa, had never been on this location. So I wanted, how can I say, additional inspiration from this unexpected communication and intuitive exchange between artist and location itself, the genesis, the heritage, the ambience, the atmosphere, the narration of the location itself to be added value for the co-creative process during the recording. So you can see various episodes and Kirill inside. The very next episode is recorded in 21, the PCR song, inspired by the very famous aria, the Cold Song by Henry Purcell from the famous Barocco, 17th century Barocco aria, the King Arthur. The text is by, the libretto is written by John Dryden. And the actress is very talented, Dimitrina Mickovska. So here you can see some very interesting raw materials from the rehearsals on Skype. And this is a triptych, and it's recorded on 3 various locations, Gazi Baba Park and Kazi Teke from the Ottoman period. Then the old, very interesting, very aesthetical, but not ergonomical stairways from the SHS period in the very center, besides the French military cemetery stairways. And the third location is in the Butel city graveyards. You will see afterwards a monument dedicated to the victims of earthquake back in 1963. So this is directed by me, and we used various female characters from the pre-Raphaelite period painting, and we embodied it and make it alive through creating this fictional character of one too ambitious and too illusionistic female person who is dying slowly from unknown disease. And why the PCR song? We had some technical problems with the voice, and that lack of quality of sound, we use it as a PCR test who becomes, in some cases, not accurate results for COVID, not accurate 100%. So we found this analogy. Our last video theater projects becomes very successful in the domain of and in the network of independent film festivals. We receive 27 international awards, and we performed our last 2 video theater projects in over 66 international independent theater and film festivals around the world. So here you can see more photo fragments. These are the stairways near the French military graveyards in Skopje. And also here you can see this masterpiece made by Konstantinov, famous architect and sculptor, dedicated to the victims of Skopje earthquake. Again, earthquake cracking, destroying total destruction of humans was additional analogy for our story to be staged here in of course, in the city cemetery, one of the most calm location in the city, Skopje, who is very hectic, chaotic, tense city. Almost lately is becoming very ugly, unfortunately, and very nostalgic for the beautiful, calm, human parts, friendly parts of Skopje. And this is how we become step-by-step part, thanks to our colleagues who invited us in ITI Italy, Teatro Astragali. And I'm going to give an introduction about project E.T.E.R.I.A and how, in the context of unknown memories of conflict, we started to create our two short video theater projects, Krieg, male version with Zdravko Stoimirov, and Acin Selak, inspired by Kalesnica, brilliant poetry by Svetlana Jocic, which is a female version. First, we start with scouting locations who are military graveyards in Macedonia. We have two in Skopje, British military graveyards, French military graveyards. Then we move to Bitola. In Bitola, we have French military graveyards, you can see. So we were testing where we could record and which locations of this kind are also suitable for performances in live. Then we moved to southern Macedonian villages like Dobroveni, when we found abandoned Serbian military graveyards. So you can see the atmosphere, the ambience are brilliant. Then we moved to Skočevir, who is perfect village. All the wild animals, we met all the wild animals like doves, like fox, like eagles, like rabbits, like any kind of birds, like Jaegers. It was magical. It was magical. Then we moved to another village near Bitola, Capari, when we found Bulgarian military graveyards inside the churchyard. We moved to Prilep, the German military graveyards. Then we went to the Valandovo, and we found documented Irish military graveyards. We made photo documentation and video documentation. Also in Valandovo, we have Greek military graveyards. You can immediately recognize different symbolism, different aesthetics, different colors, different architectonical design, very much connected with this military foreign cultural heritage who is in our country. And we visited German military graveyards in Bitola, that was location most suitable for our idea. So we recorded our video on this location. So you can see the graveyards there. Actually, it is a base made of circle. It's very calm. It's very acoustic. It's brilliant for many events, and it's open. You can work inside. Here you can see some raw photographs from the rehearsal, Krieg with Zdravko. Some photo fragments from several elements. Its videos are based on several parts. The first one is soldier machine versus soldier human, then escapism, then you have the death of soldier, and the epitaphs. We use epitaphs, ready-made epitaphs borrowed from the British military graveyards in Skopje. So you can see some photos. Sorry, because the time is running fast. I go faster. This is the second episode, the female version, Acin Selak with Filareta Atanasova, some raw materials from the rehearsals, then some photo fragments from the several episodes. Filareta is very photogenic, as you can see, very strong, maybe one of the most photogenic actresses in Macedonian cinema. If you ask me, this is my opinion. was excellent experience. And please, I don't know, do we have time? I prepare short videos from both episodes, but maybe you can start with sending me some questions if you have, or we can see one of these episodes. I don't know. What do you think?
We can proceed seeing one of these videos if you want.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
We have time.
Okay. I will go stop sharing. I will just prepare the video. Mhm. Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see the video?
Yes.
Okay, excuse me, just I will be back because I share sound. Okay, it works. Okay. And please tell me if you can hear the voice.
Yes, we hear.
This is 5 minutes.
И секој утро те наоѓам во својот двор, под дафиновото дрво, нежен.
We made two versions, Macedonian and English. This is Macedonian.
Црвен цвет сакам в коси.
This is escapism. No, escapism episode inspired by Kalesnica.
Се сретнавме ли како љубов или како нељубов се сретнавме? Тој се колнеше во лепи вода, дека седејќи на камен, склопецот ќе го полни со звезди само за мене. Дланките му беа пожолтени, звезди испепелени, лежал на земја. Те понесувам како единствена религија и во таа вистина невистина, неоделена останувам. Духови меѓу нас се населиле. Сите љубовници се разделиле. Молкот само остана. Стожерот бел маж со голи раце. Снежинките со водена смрт на него умираат. Галабуда в пазуви ми замрзана.
О, и ние сме осаменици. Се уплашихме. Се подпревме на дрвото. Се замислихме.
О, и ние сме осаменици. Се уплашихме. Се подпревме на дрвото. Се замислив. Пипел од челото ми руси. Љубовта. Леле, љубовта. Дали со смрт се оплакува? Се бакнавме. Земката пукна. Ргулец лисна. Тогаш ја надмудрувам вистината за нашето месо и нашите коски. Ајде да се надигруваме. Ајде да тргуваме со времето. Јас тебе вечност, ти мене век дај ми. Ајде да се китиме. Продолжи ми ги прстите со твоите, додека сонцето не заште. Измешај ми ја сенкава со твојата, додека летото не си заминало. Кажи ми, што сокриваш од мене? Zaštitуваš od ostrици на сабљести треви, od bolesti, od vojni na neotkrijeni bubački. Me zaštitуваš i me predavaš. Ej, momče, zeleno jabolko kinam. Ej, momče, zeleno jabolko kalajsувам. Моята сенка од рано сонце легна до тебе. Дали ја понесе? Дали ја однесе? Коба сум кога сонувам во тебе. Смртта на сонцето, на љубава е на овие води. Го диплам платното на Биљана за погреби.
Yes. Well, thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Ivanka, and thank you to all the participants. We will close now the streaming on YouTube. We will continue our discussion on Zoom. Okay. I noticed that this afternoon and tomorrow morning there will be the other masterclasses that they will be coordinated by Fabio Tolleti. So thank you to Ivanka and to all the participants again, and see you this afternoon.